Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Me and Moses Here Missing, available on Amazon paperback and ebook, coming soon, Missing 2, double expense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by a sweet psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David Psalms. Check out the journey of David on the Sweet Psalmist, Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, 50 podcast platforms, 110 countries. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and more. And also on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, and more. We're here with an amazing lady who's an author, MD, with 40 years experience in Washington, D.C., North Carolina, and Seattle. Spent 2.5 years at Arizona State University, attended University of Utah Medical School, and completed residency in Boston and her MPH at Harvard School of Public Health. Also authored numerous and medical articles and book chapters, and began taking classes in Seattle, began her writing career. Talk more about that. She has a new book celebrating the resilience of those who triumph against all odds, drawing from her personal experience to find a county or a country she could legally reside with her British partner. The book is called Place for Us. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Studio, somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. The amazing author, MD with 40 years experience, DC, North Carolina, Seattle, with the book A Place for Us, the multi-talented Patricia Grayhall. Patricia, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it must be your accent, but it's Grayhall.
Grayhall. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. So I guess it must be an accent. I guess I have to correct my Canadians too. So I guess I'm around Canadians for too long. I guess say that. So
Right, right.
okay, Patricia. So anyway, you're an author, MD. You have 40 years experience in DC, North Carolina, and Seattle. You all spent 2 years, 2.5 at Arizona State University, attended University of Utah Medical School, completed residency in Boston and MPH at Harvard School of Public Health, and also attended numerous and you authored numerous and medical articles, book chapters, and began taking classes in Seattle to begin your writing career. You have a new book out which celebrates the resilience of those who triumph against all the odds, drawn from your personal experience to find a country you could legally reside with your British partner long after the U.S. Called extend the immigration status. The book is called A Place for Us. Before getting on, Patricia, tell us how I first got started.
Okay, I will. So it was during the pandemic actually, and my partner and I were downsizing, and we had a big fire going in the burn barrel,
Oh,
throwing in all our, old tax returns and documents. And I had a box that I hadn't looked at for 40 years. It was full of journals, and um, I was about to toss it, and I thought, no, I really should look at this. And I did. And I thought, gosh, this is kind of historical because I got into medical school before Title IX, before that guaranteed equal access of women to education. And also before, at a time when it was pretty much all male, my class, it was 95% men. And um, and during a time when being gay or lesbian was you had to hide your identity. It was also before v. Wade, and which became an issue in some of my medical experiences. So, um, so I took classes at Hugo House in Seattle, and formed a critique group, and got into a 6 month memoir writing class, yeah, and had a mentor who also happened to be a publisher, who, after I completed uh, a draft of my memoir, asked if I'd like to publish it. So that's how I got into how I got into writing. And that book, Making the Rounds, um, got a lot of awards, and it was one of a starred Kirkus Review, and is one of Kirkus's best 100 indie books of 2022. So that gave me a lot of encouragement, but what really did it for me was the feedback that I got from readers who said, wow, I thought I was the only one who had these kind of experiences. I could see myself in your story, and they felt less alone, and that warmed my heart. But
Hmm.
then they said, so what happened next? So, um, is there going to be a sequel? And really didn't think I had another memoir in me because the first one was pretty wrenching, going through really my fairly brutal medical training through medical school in two specialties, and then the it just my personal life at the time, which was fairly chaotic. But um, I thought I'm at the time I'm in my early 70s. I have had a lot of experiences. I had made a lot of mistakes, learned from those mistakes, and I have a treasure trove of stories. And one of the more dramatic ones was how I had to immigrate to Canada in order to be with my British partner.
Okay.
In 2003, at a time when we couldn't live together legally in our home countries. And Canada had passed a law the previous year uh, for the first time recognizing same-sex couples for immigration. But you had to show that you had lived together as conjugal partners for a year. And of course, we couldn't do that because we couldn't live together in either of our home countries. So that was a conundrum that serves uh, um, to provide some suspenseful scenes in my new novel, A Place for Us.
Okay. And how'd you first meet your partner?
Well, we first met in 1981 in a London pub when I was on my way to Geneva for a WHO conference. And that started a brief but intense real affair, essentially. But we couldn't, go further with it because of, ambitions and the vast ocean and immigration barriers. So, and I should say that the characters in the book, A Place for Us, are not me, and they're not my partner. And the exes in the book, which provide some of the drama, are also
Hmm.
are also fictional. So what I do, I it's auto fiction, so I drew on my own life for the immigration drama, but uh, auto fiction allows me to go beyond my own experience to explore some of the big messy issues that affect us all, not just the queer community.
Okay. And what was that one exact precise moment that simply influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career?
What influenced me?
In your writing career?
So I'm sorry, I could you repeat that?
No, I said, was that one exact precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Oh, well, it was that moment when I didn't throw my journals into the burn barrel.
Okay.
Yeah, and realized that I had a lot of good stories to tell.
Okay. And who are some of your favorite authors and writers growing up?
Um, well, I just finished Demon Copperfield by Barbara Kingsolver, which is an amazing book. It did get a Pulitzer Prize, and her writing is just amazing. I'm always impressed with people who can take on the voice of, another person very different from themselves. She writes from the perspective of a young man in Appalachia.
Okay.
So that's my most recent favorite book.
Okay. And plus, you also wrote some other books. We talked about briefly making arounds. We'll also talk about defying norms and love and medicine, and also golden years, silver lining. We'll also
Right.
feature a place for us. We'll get that in 1 minute with Patricia Grayhall. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon, paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews. An Evil 11 endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Jordan Cassie, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2, double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including theories, quiz of pains, and King David's Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote. His time as a shepherd war started and complicated yet turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. 50 podcast platforms, 110 countries. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson Zia. Great books, merchandise, and more. Support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. PayPal at themikewagnershow.com. Follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, listen to us on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, BitChute, YouTube, Rumble, and over 50 podcast platforms and more. You'll hear the amazing author and MD who experienced 40 years in D.C., North Carolina, and Seattle, Patricia Grayhall here on the Mike Wagner Show. And let's quickly go about your journey. 40 years experience going in D.C., North Carolina, and Seattle. Tell us about your journey.
Well, as I said, it began when I was going through some journals, and I came across that I had come across, hadn't looked at for 40 years, and I realized that I had a lot of good material for writing. And so
I was referring to your journey about being an MD.
Oh, well, I did, I had 2.5 years of college. And I applied to medical school, a number of medical schools, and I got into University of Utah. So I was one of 5 women at that time
Okay.
in 1971. And this was before, as I said, Title IX increased the number of women that got into medical school. But I I was pretty much a minority. I was a woman, I was a lesbian, and I was not Mormon. So it was,
That's a connection right there. So
yeah.
I get that. And what first inspired you to become a doctor at the time?
Well, my grandfather was a doctor, and he in a small town in on the coast of Washington State, and he delivered over 4,000 babies. He was the only
Wow.
doctor in a small town. And he was also would ride up the Wenatchee River and scrape fallen loggers off the ground and try to fix them on the spot. I mean, he did surgery, he did obstetrics, he did everything.
Wow. Okay.
And I didn't, he died when I was quite young, but I continued to hear stories about him. And also, I just loved science and biology and physiology, and I thought it was just fascinating. So medical school for me was really, despite being such a minority, was a wonderful experience, actually.
And certainly does as well too. That you also adventure into writing as well too. And I think we also had was it defining norms and also love and medicine. Tell us more about that.
Well, that was my first book, the memoir, and it was not only did it describe my fairly grueling experience in training and not only in medical school but in residency, but also my fairly difficult personal life as I was trying to figure out what I wanted in relationship, and so I was pretty honest and describing all that, which is easier to do when it's 50 years ago. It's like writing about another person. And and also readers really appreciate it when you tell the truth and you're honest. They can tell when you're not. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's how you really connect with readers. And
Mm-hmm.
as I said, I got a lot of positive feedback from that, not only from critics, and and several awards, and being among Kirkus's best 100 books of 2022 indie books, but also the feedback from readers who said, that they uh, were amazed, that they were not the only one who had these kind of experiences, that they felt validated and less alone. So that was what really made it worthwhile for me.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like things will open up as well too, and also golden years and silver linings. I think we touched that maybe
Yeah.
very briefly a bit more about the book as well.
Yeah. Well, Golden Years and Silver Linings was a book I wrote with my partner, and it came about because when I was writing Making the Rounds, I was sitting there at the computer with my back to her, writing about my old girlfriends, which didn't go down very well. So,
It's not you, it's me, not.
so I suggested we write a book together, and we did, and it was great fun, and that resulted in that book, which is a fairly light romance. Um, and came before my current book, which A Place for Us, which is basically a romance at its core, but it's also a meditation on belonging and finding your home, not just in a physical sense, but with somebody who truly understands and cherishes you.
Hmm. It made me think too that you guys first met in 1981. How did you guys still manage to communicate at the time? Obviously there was no internet, and
Uh,
you, you know, long distance was probably like maybe you got like maybe $100 like a minute or something like that back in the day. How did you guys still manage to communicate?
yeah, where neither one of us were flush with cash, so there weren't a lot of long distance plane rides, but um, mostly by long letters, which I still have actually. And and also, the occasional long distance phone call. But we didn't actually see each other again for 22 years, and that's where most of the book is based, in 2003. And again, it is fiction. The meat part and the immigration part is pretty much based on our experience, but a lot of the drama, um, it, in the midst of the book, is all fictional.
Hmm. And certainly as well too. And you got two characters in there, Joe and also Lauren as well. Both going separate ways or just going a different paths and everything like that. More on A Place for Us with Patricia Grayhall in a minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Me Wilson's Missing, the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on life of David, including 30 exquisite pains and King David Psalms. Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. We'll be back with you, Melty Patricia Grayhall of A Place for Us after this timeout. We're back with author Patricia Grayhall here on the Mike Wagner Show with A Place for Us. And this also involves with Joe, a driven environmental attorney built in being DC, and Lauren, a spirited young woman from Britain on a journey of self-discovery. And just fast forward and everything else. You guys pretty much went all over, like what? San Francisco, Yosemite National Park. And of course, you guys had different aspirations, which, in a sense, kind of were in line, but in a sense, also collided.
Well, these are fictional characters, Joe and Lauren, and But they do meet again after 22 years, and at the time they both have partners already and difficult relationships that have their problems and which they have to deal with and unwind because they find themselves wanting to be with each other once again. So that leads to the major conundrum, which is finding a place because they can't really live together legally in either of their home countries. And, so much of the suspense and drama is how they work that out.
Okay. And I think that's really important as well. Maybe some of the other challenges, like say with dealing with landlords, dealing with what was it? I don't know, trying to find a place, everything like that. So it's like I'm just trying to see. It's like, how is this going against and how do you manage to overcome? I mean, I'm just thinking right now, it's like, how can you overcome without getting a place to live, first of all?
Well, it had nothing to do with landlords. It was just, the immigration systems at the time. I mean, now it's only been since 2013 that the US has recognized same-sex couples for immigration. Um, and and Canada did since 2002. So, um, and I don't remember when the UK started doing that, but anyway, in 2003, it was not an option in the US or the UK.
Okay. What about some other countries, like say Australia or France, Germany, or even like say go out to like like China, Japan, or anything like that? Have you guys looked at other countries where they still allow same sex, or was it like along the lines that, or was just as difficult?
Well, I mean, currently there's probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 30 countries that do recognize same sex for immigration. But at that time, it was far fewer. I don't really know, what I'm sure it's not recognized in China and India and some other countries. I mean, it's just um, obviously difficult. Now in the United States, to immigrate as a couple, same-sex people have to have been married in their country of origin. And there's only about 25 countries in which that's possible, most of them Western countries. So, people coming from China or India or, you know, Pakistan,
Hmm.
are just up the creek.
Right, exactly. And of course, it's important to be visible. There's still an ongoing fight. And how much work do you think still needs to be done?
Well, right now, a lot of work needs to be done because the rights and freedoms that LGBT people have taken it for granted, the young people for most of their lives are being threatened. And so I think this is Pride Month, and the original purpose of Pride was to serve as a platform for activism to call attention to discrimination, violence, and legislative issues affecting the LGBTQ community. And although in recent years it's become a big celebration with lots of corporate sponsors, um, currently with the backlash that's happening now, um, I think that it's probably should go back to its original purpose.
Hmm. And it goes way back history too of gay women as well. How far do you think back it goes?
There's always been gay women or lesbians, always. It's just how visible they are depends on how the, acceptance by society. And certainly in recent years, there was a Gallup poll showing that at least among young people, the percentage has gone way up. Um, and part of that is just greater acceptance. And in the older demographic, it's quite low, which reflects the lack of acceptance. in
Hmm.
my youth, certainly.
Hmm. It sounds like there's pretty much a wide gap to the whole thing as well. And June 28th is being the most significant. And tell us why June 28th is significant for you.
So June 28th was the Stonewall uprising when a club in New York City was raided by the police for the thousandth time. And the patrons just got fed up with it and resisted. And it went on for days. And uh, it was kind of like the first time that, well, that they had fought back. And so that was commemorated with gay pride marches the following year, 1970 in New York City. And then it just continued every year. Um, on the 28th of June uh, is commemorated of that uprising and the pride, I guess, that was shown by those resistors.
Hmm. Also, maybe think what happened. I'm trying to think when maybe 5, 10 years ago, somewhere on there, the nightclub shooting in Orlando. That's another significant mark.
Yeah, I don't think that's celebrated.
Right. And it's just another landmark as a reminder, too. So,
Just a reminder that, the world is still quite unsafe for marginalized people of all kinds, really.
okay. And also, lastly, as well, too. And how do people get a hold of you? How do people get a hold of your book and everything?
Best way is probably either to visit my website at www.patriciagrayhall.com. And also it's my books are available through Simon and Schuster, everywhere where books are sold in ebook, print, or audiobook form.
Okay. And what's your website again?
It's just patriciagrayhall.com.
All right, well, certainly check that out. We're here with the amazing author Patricia Grayhall of A Place for Us here on the Mike Wagner Show, and a few more things. What else can we expect from you 2025 and beyond?
Oh, I'm writing a thriller now.
Nice. Okay.
It's pretty much finished. It is again Joe, the environmental attorney, and a physician who are up against the environmental crimes of big oil. And one of them gets arrested for bank robbery and was probably framed. So that's the next book.
Makes you think of Aaron Brockovich to the next
Yeah,
level. It sounds like, yeah,
it has a flavor of that.
that sounds like it. We're looking forward to that. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, which career?
Just any career, anything.
Yeah, well, I guess uh, for my medical career, my mother, who always encouraged me to, do well in school and just always supported my continuing on to um, go to medical school and stuff. Also, for my writing career, I would say my original writing coach, who turned out to also be my publisher. So.
Okay, that sounds like a really good one. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
To anybody who wants to write,
Just in general.
well, just that I don't know, just that love is love and will prevail.
Okay. And I think that's a really good point as well. We're here with author Patricia Grayhall of A Place for Us here on the Mike Wagner Show. Patricia, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Glad to have you back. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your books? Website?
Oh, it's at patriciagrayhall.com.
All right, well, certainly check that out. Once again, Patricia, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. We wish you all best. And Patricia, you definitely have a great future ahead.
Great. Thank you.